Write a direct variation equation that relates x and y. Assume that y varies directly as x. As soon as we see the words direct variation and y varies directly as x, we should automatically understand that we're looking for an equation where y equals some number, and we generally call this number k, times x. We need to figure out what number is being multiplied with x to give us y. So, in this problem, number 18, if y equals negative 20, when x equals 4, negative 20 equals some number times 4. What did that some number have to be? Well, let's divide both sides by 4 and find out. K had to be negative 5. So our equation to find any of our x's and y's, the relationship between x and y is y equals negative 5x. Well, find y when x is 5. Well, y when x is 5, y would equal negative 5 times x, and if x were 5, negative 5 times 5 means that y would be negative 25. So find y when x equals 5, negative 25 equals y, because y equals negative 5 times x. Using the same logic, as soon as we see direct variation or y varies directly as x, we know that we've got some number k that y equals k times x. And we know that when y is 3 in this problem, x was negative 15. So some number times negative 15 gave us 3. Well, let's divide both sides by negative 15, solve for k, and find out what that number is. 3/15 reduced would be 1/5. So in this problem, k equals negative 1/5. So y equals negative 1/5 times x. Well, let's find x when y is negative 45. Negative 45 equals negative 1/5 times what? Well, if we divide both sides by negative 1/5, it's the same thing as multiplying by negative 5. So if I divide negative 1/5 on both sides, and you can either do it in your calculator, or it's going to be 45 times 5, or 45 divided by 1/5, and we find that x equals 225. So x equals 225 when x equals negative 45, because negative 1/5 times 225 equals negative 45. Moving to the next problem. Make a little space here. Write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form that passes through each point with the given slope. Well, we have to know that slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So there were a couple of different ways to solve this one. We know that our slope is negative 1, so it's going to be y equals negative 1x plus, and then there's some number that has to go here where b is. So let's find that number. There's a couple of ways we can do it. We can start with y equals negative 1x plus b. And if I only knew a coordinate on the line, if I only knew an x and a y that was on the line, I could find the b very easily. Well, guess what? I know that because they told me that it passes through this point, 3, negative 1. So when x is 3, negative 1 times 3 plus something, y had to be negative 1. So negative 3 plus b equals negative 1. If I add 3 to both sides, I get 2 equals b. My y-intercept, that's why it's called slope-intercept form, because they gave me this, I need to find the slope and the y-intercept. My y-intercept is 2, and my equation is y equals negative 1x plus 2. The other method for solving is putting it into point-slope form first, then solving for y to get it into slope-intercept form. So point-slope form, if you will recall, is y minus y1 equals m times the difference of x minus x1. And here we have a point, x1, y1, and a slope, and that's all we need to get our equation. Well, they gave us a point and our slope, so y minus our y-coordinate, y minus negative 1 equals our slope, negative 1, times x minus our x-coordinate, which was 3. And now if I solve this to get y by itself, y minus negative 1 is the same as plus 1. And we're going to distribute the negative 1. Negative 1x minus negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. And now I have a minus negative 3. I could actually rewrite that one as negative 1x plus 3. Y plus 1 equals negative 1x plus 3. Subtract 1 from both sides to get the y by itself, and I get the equation y equals negative 1x plus 2. So two different ways to get the same linear equation in slope-intercept form. So moving to the next slope-intercept form, this time they gave us a slope of negative 3. And I'm going to use the point-slope form to solve it this time, and we'll do y minus negative 8 equals m, which is our negative 3, times x minus negative 6. Well, I'm going to change my minus negatives to plus. Y plus 8 equals negative 3 times x plus 6. And using the distributive property here, negative 3 times everything in that parentheses, negative 3 times x, plus negative 3 times 6 is negative 18, equals y plus 8. And now I want to get y by itself, so I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides. And y equals negative 3x plus negative 18 minus 8 is negative 26. So y equals negative 3x plus negative 26, or y equals negative 3x minus 26. We could have solved it the other method, y equals mx plus b, y equals negative 3x plus b, and to find our b, we plug in our coordinates for x and y. X is negative 6, negative 3 times negative 6, plus b had to equal negative 8. Negative 24, I'm sorry, negative 3 times negative 6 is positive 18. 18 plus b equals negative 8. Subtracting 18 from both sides to get b by itself. Negative 8 minus 18 is negative 26. And negative 26 equals b. And we would rewrite our equation, not 6 but b, I'm sorry. We would rewrite our equation as y equals negative 3x plus our b, which was negative 26. So we got the same equation, either method we used to find the linear equation.